476. Multiply or divide the rational expressions below. Write each answer in simplified form. Letter A. I've recopied it here. I have the quantity of x minus 3 squared over 2x minus 1 times our fraction of 2x minus 1 over the quantities of 3x minus 14 times the quantity of x plus 6. And then we have x plus 6 over x minus 3 being multiplied to all of that. So, what we've got here is just a big multiplication statement here. These are all multiplication. So we can look for factors that will create values of 1 so that we may eliminate them from being expressed as they are. So as we go through this, we've got the quantity of x minus 3 squared. Well, as I look at my denominator here, everything is already simplified. So I see here that I have an x minus 3. So my x minus 3 and one of these x minus 3's make 1. So what I'm left with there is x minus 3 just to the first power. Everybody writes that differently. It's up to you, but just know that the squared part is gone here. Second one, we have x minus 3. I'm sorry, x minus 3, 2x minus 1, and you have a 2x minus 1. Those are common factors, 1 in the numerator, 1 in the denominator. Remember, in order to reduce these or to come up with the values of 1, one of them has to be in the top, one of them has to be in the bottom. The last one here, we've got x plus 6 and x plus 6. So what this really looks like is x minus 3 over 1 times 1 over 3x minus 14 times 1 over 1. And we know when we multiply straight across here, 1 times x minus 3 is going to give us x minus 3. And 1 times 3x minus 14 will give us 3x minus 14. These binomials are not the same. They cannot be reduced. Neither of them can be factored. So we're going to say here that this is going to be our most simplified answer for letter A. Let's look at letter B. We've got 4x squared plus 5x minus 6 over 3x squared plus 5x minus 2 divided by 4x squared plus x minus 3 over 6x squared minus 5x plus 1. Now with this problem, we notice that we're dividing algebraic fractions. First thing you may want to do, just to eliminate any confusion or mistakes from occurring, is just go ahead and rewrite it as a multiplication problem. Remember, we could take this one and we can flip this one or multiply by its reciprocal. So we're looking at 4x squared plus 5x minus 6 over 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Sorry, slightly uphill there. And we're going to take the reciprocal of this one, so we're just going to say 6x squared minus 5x plus 1 on the top. Bottom, or denominator, 4x squared plus x minus 3. None of these trinomials is exactly the same as any of the others, so we're going to need to look at the factors of each of these trinomials to see if we may be able to simplify this or reduce it down. Now, I've already factored these ahead of time before doing the video, so if you need a chance to do that, if you haven't made it to that point, go ahead and pause the video, try to factor them, and then you can see if you're right. If you just go through and write down what I'm writing down, it's going to do you no good. You're not getting that repetition, that practice that you need. So here we go. I know that when I factor 4x squared plus 5x minus 6, I'm going to end up with 4x minus 3 times the quantity of x plus 2 My denominator, 3x squared plus 5x minus 2, I know I'm going to have at least 3x and x if it's going to factor. And I should end up with a minus 1 and a plus 2. We're multiplying that fraction by the factored version of this one. So 6x squared minus 5x plus 1 will factor into 3x minus 1 times 2x minus 1 and our denominator 4x squared plus x minus 3 should factor into, well, we have a 4x minus 3 here, so you know that since we're practicing that skill, there's a good chance this one's also going to be 4x minus 3, and we've got a x plus 1 in here. Now as we look for values that will give us 1, or I'm sorry, expressions or fractions will give us 1, we know that x plus 2 and x plus 2, when we divide them, give us 1 over 1. 3x minus 1 and 3x minus 1 give us 1 over 1. And 4x minus 3 and 4x minus 3 give us 1, because we're multiplying them there. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 2x minus 1 gives us 2x minus 1. And 1 times 1 times 1 times the quantity of x plus 1 is simply x plus 1. So here is what our solution to B should look like. And remember, these are each binomials, so you can't reduce or simplify this anymore. A binomial has to reduce with something that looks exactly like it there. So like 4x minus 3 and 4x minus 3, all these are good examples of that. So 2x minus 1 over x plus 1, your answer for B. X minus 3 over 3x minus 14 is your answer for A. This is problem 4-76. This is Mr. Boyd. If you're needing help, make sure you see me, make sure you see your teacher, whatever you need to do. Hope this answered your questions. Thanks.